What's up, team? Adam here, one of the game designers on Terrarium, and today I want to talk to you about cool ways to decorate your level. In Terrarium, you have total freedom to put any of the assets wherever you want. But one of the things is that some of our hazards, like water and lava, they their edges always sometimes look flat against the level. So one of the things that you can do is you can line them with rocks. So as you can see here, I'm very carefully placing edge rocks around the pool, and it starts to give it some depth, and it starts to give it a little bit of style. Now, one of the problems is when you use the same asset over and over again, it starts to get repetitive. So you can start to overlap them like I show you here. Also, notice I've left a gap. If you have anything from over top where you might be able to fall into this, remember to give your players a way out. You don't want them to get stuck. So another thing that you can do is when you're using repetitive assets, just vary the scale just a little bit and it starts to break up the lines. So you can see that it starts to look, even though it's the same, it starts to look like that there's variation in the rocks. Now what we can do, we can put a plant in the middle and you have a nice little oasis in the middle of your terrarium. So lining all of your hazards and pools is a way, especially if they're not part of your level, to block them off from the player, but also make them look nice and have some texture. Now, what I've done here is I've placed down multiple thick mugu fruit plants. Now, generally in a level, you would only use one of these so that you could give the player that fruit. But if they already have it, one of the things that you can do is, I'm just setting up a little bit of a hazard here. One of the things that you can do is you can use their animation to actually give a little bit of life to your terrarium. And so as I set this up, you can see I'm using the same principles I used before. Some rocks around the pool, a little bit of brush, maybe a tree. So we have ourselves a little bit of a nice addition to the terrarium. Now watch what happens when I actually go in, and these plants aren't meant to be used to switch mugu because I already have thick mugu, but notice how they animate when I walk by them. So this is one way to sort of liven up the terrarium and make it really interesting pathways that will open and animate as you go by. Now what you can also do is we have other assets that will animate by proximity, especially the crystals. So I'll place a couple of crystals down here. And then you'll see as you walk by, they light up and they stay lit up. So there's a couple things you can do with this. You can do it just as sort of decoration. You can also use it so players know where they've been, if you're making a maze or if you're making a very complicated level. I'm Adam, I'm one of the game designers for Terrarium. This has been another Maker Mode video, and I'll see you next time.